Well, that was just some of the stupidest booking I have ever seen. I said in the SmackDown review, if that was actually John Cena's face turn on SmackDown, I was going to rip this apart. Because he's just turned face after all of that. The biggest heel turn WWE has ever had. Biggest. This entire heel run. Thrown away, given up on a random SmackDown because he got put through a table and made to sign a contract. And that's enough for him to go, yeah, you know what, actually, forget everything I said about the fans, everything I said about the company, wrestling, everything I said. Yeah, just kind of forget it. You guys know I wasn't serious anyway. Moving on. You know what I mean? Like, clearly, because they were so desperate to just rush and just get to this Brock Lesnar-John Cena feud. So they were like, well, shit, let's just turn him face. Because they are absolutely obsessed with headlines, with moments, and nothing else. Even if it doesn't make sense. Travis Scott, main event of WrestleMania. Does it make sense? Does anyone want to see it? No, but it grabs a headline. Brock Lesnar, John Cena. Does it make sense right now? No, but it'll get headlines. So let's just do it. Let's turn John Cena face after all of this. The big heel turn. This entire heel run. Let's just turn him face now with no build-up. No explanation. He just got put through a table. And that's enough for him to go, yeah, moving on. Let's just forget that ever happened. To get to a match with Brock Lesnar. And the title. Just to give it, all of this just to give it back to Cody clean. No turn. Cody didn't turn. Cena didn't turn. So both of them are now faces. I cannot believe that was John Cena's actual face turn. After all of that, this entire heel run, now I understand the heel run has been so disappointing, so bad. It's been booked about as bad as you can book it. A couple good moments, but overall, awful. So I, along with everyone, I'm glad that this is over. We don't have to witness this again and we can get back to normal John Cena. But you can't just throw it away on a random SmackDown because he got made to sign a contract and put through a table. And that made him go, yeah, everything I said about the fans, didn't mean it. Yeah, just kind of forget everything I said that. Forget everything I said. You guys know I wasn't serious. You guys know I didn't mean any of it. Let's just move on. And now we've got Brock Lesnar. Why would Brock Lesnar come back for John Cena? Does it not make more sense that Brock Lesnar would come back for the champion? Why would Brock Lesnar come back for John Cena in 2025? How does that make sense? How? Why would he come back for Cena now that he's lost the title? Cena loses the title and Brock's like, yeah, now I'll go for him. Yeah, when he had the title, didn't want to go anywhere near him. Now he's lost the title. Yeah, now I'll fight him. Would Brock Lesnar not realistically want to go for the title? Want to go for the champion? Now I know. I do not want to see Brock Lesnar and Cody Rhodes again because it was absolutely horrendous the first time. I do not want to see that again. But why would he go for John Cena now he's lost the title? Does that make sense? No, but they are absolutely obsessed with headlines. So they're willing to go out their way to get a big headline coming out of the show, out of the night, out of the weekend, even if it means doing something that makes absolutely zero sense in so many ways. They rushed John Cena's face turn just to get to a match with Brock Lesnar that doesn't even make sense anyway. SummerSlam, night 2. Was it as bad as night 1? No. I don't think it was possible to be as bad as night 1. Was it great? No. We're going to go through it. We're going to go through all of it. Show starts Triple H because obviously it does. Obviously it starts with him. He views himself and the TKO want him to be the Dana White of WWE. So of course he's out there first. His face, voice has to be in everything. Open his signature to the show, Triple H. First person you see on the show, Triple H. The names you see at the end of the show, Triple H. The first person you see after the show, at the post show, Triple H. Everywhere. Then we get the women's triple threat. Now, the best part of this was Naomi's father playing her to the ring. Naomi's doing the best work of her entire career. By far, this is the best Naomi's ever been, the best work she's ever been done. She's incredible at everything she does right now. So, a wholesome moment, like her dad playing her to the ring as she holds that title. Incredible moment for her. Decent match. It did its job. It was a good opener. It wasn't anything to write home about, but you put these three in a ring, I don't think it's possible for them to have a bad match. Going into this, I was absolutely dreading them putting it on Rhea Ripley. I thought, you know what, if they put this on Rhea Ripley, no matter what happens for the rest of the night, it's a bad show. Because you cannot do that. You cannot. And I thought they were going to. They weren't going to put it on Io. I was convinced they're putting this on Rhea. But no. I was thanking God, as New Day say, that Naomi won this match. She rolls Rhea Ripley up. Not fan of the roll up, not fan of that finish. But I guess the vibe is, oh, she's stolen the title, she's got away with one. I don't care. She won the match. That's all that needed to happen. I don't care about the match. The whole time I was thinking, Naomi better win this. And she did. That's all we can ask for. That's what we have to be so grateful for. Then we go into the TLC match. Now, the Hardy Boys and the Dudley Boys were ringside this match. Now, secretly, during this match, the entire time I was hoping, please have them get involved. A ladder spot, a table spot, something. They're right there. They're not retired. They're still having matches. Let's see something. But we didn't. It was a good match. I mean, it was exactly what you expect these type of matches to be. It was just spot after spot after spot. Which, for this match, is exactly what you want from it, right? You don't want a professional wrestling match from one of these type of matches. Now, we need more of these matches on PLEs. WrestleMania, you used to have the Money in the Bank ladder match. Then you used to have ladder matches for an IC title or a US title. They've disappeared. They don't do them anymore. We need to. Because it's just... It's a good break in the night from just one-on-one tag team match, one-on-one tag team match, one-on-one. Throw a fun match in there, right? Overbooking a TLC match, just spot after spot after spot. It breaks up the night. It gets the fans on their feet, excited. Something different. We need more of them on the big PLEs, on the SummerSlams, the WrestleMania. We need more of them. We need to do more. Now, Candice LeRae, fair play to her, took an unreal spot during this match. Fair play to her. That was crazy. So that's definitely when her career is said and done, that's going to be a standout point. So fair play to her. The Wyatts win. Everyone was disappointed. I don't think many people were like, oh yes, the Wyatts win. And that's nothing to do with the Wyatts themselves. The Wyatt Six, no issue with them. No issue with them at all. It's their booking. They are booked to be boring. Think about all the possibilities you have with a faction, a group like this. All the fun moments, the fun segments, the fun storylines you could put them into. With these type of characters, you are unlimited in what you can do with them. Just ask Bo Dallas. What are your ideas for this faction and this feud? And he'll give you loads. I know he would. But they just book them as a normal tag team. Just a little bit creepy. So of course, no one's going to really care about them. So when they win a match like this, no one's going to care. No issue with the Wyatts. I don't think anyone has a real issue with the Wyatts. It's their booking that makes them boring. And when you end a match like that with all that action and all those spots, with the Wyatts winning, it's going to take people down. It's going to leave people feeling a bit like meh. Because of their booking. Their booking has been so bad. They've been booked to be so irrelevant and boring. Just putting a title on them does not make people care about them. Putting a title on someone does not automatically make people go, oh, I need to see these every week. Book them better, and maybe you have them win a match like that and people care. Because people didn't. Then we go to Becky Lynch versus Lyra Valkyria. Now, the crowd were doing a Mexican wave during this match. The crowd couldn't care less. But for me, I enjoyed it. I think it was a good match. I did like the match. I think it was good. Maybe a little bit overbooked, but overall it was a good match. I liked it. It did what it needed to do. It told a story throughout it. The zip ties around Valkyria's wrists, which was botched at some point. It slipped off, but Valkyria slipped them back on. Bit of a botch, but it is what it is. I liked it, but the crowd were too busy doing their Mexican wave. They couldn't care less about this match. Which, I mean, yeah, they're just a bit... They've gone from a spot match like that, the TLC match, to just a normal match. They're gonna... WWE crowds are very fickle. Very... Like, they'll cheer for Becky, they'll cheer for Lyra, but then they won't even watch the match. But it was a good match. New Becky Lynch music, which I like. Actually a heel changing their music. Hopefully her husband takes hint to that, takes note. You can't be a face, you can't be a heel, and keep the same music that people like and sing along to. It doesn't work, you need to change it. So, Becky Lynch changed her music, she didn't get Def Rebelled. She got an actual band to make her music, so fair play. I did like the match. Now, Bayley was the one that costs Lyra at the end of this. It was a decent match. There was tables. It wasn't a great, neat, no DQ match. There wasn't any crazy spot. It was just mainly the zip tie spot, the zip tie thing throughout the match. Couple of table spots, couple of kendo stick spots. Overall, the ending of this was all about Bayley costing Lyra. So are they going to do Lyra Bayley? Because now Lyra can't challenge for Becky Lynch's title again. So the only way they can go is Lyra Bayley. So do we get a Bayley heel turn? Or a Lyra heel turn? I don't know. I have no issue with Lyra losing this match because Becky's just got the title realistically. And she's doing great with it. Well, not okay, maybe not great, but she's doing fine with it. She's doing good work. She's just turned heel. She's just changed the theme song. So it makes no real sense to take it off of her already. I have no issue with her winning. Lyra Bayley. There's nothing for me really. So they're going to have to make me care. I really like Lyra. Lyra is going to be a top star in this company if they do it properly. So hopefully this feud is actually interesting. Now, Solo versus Jacob Fatu, which is the worst thing we've seen the entire weekend. By far, the worst thing we got this entire weekend. First of all, steel cage. How are we supposed to believe in the steel cage, invest in it, see it as devastating, look at this match like, oh, they're locked in a cage together. When on SmackDown, they tried to give that illusion again, but then Solo just walked out of the cage, so he wasn't actually locked in there with Jacob Fatu. Why is the door a thing? The entire point of a steel cage is that you're locked in together, right? You're locked in together. This feud is that vicious. It needs to end. People keep getting involved or whatever. So we need to lock them inside of a cage so that they have to settle their differences. But no, because you can walk out of the door. So it doesn't work. You can just walk out of the door. I don't know why it's a thing. I sound like Jesse Ventura. But he was absolutely correct. How does it make sense? How are we supposed to invest in this match and see it as vicious, deadly, when you can literally walk out of the door, which is exactly how this match ended. Solo just fell out of the door. That was it. The ending of this was the Tall Tonga bloke. Tall Tonga, that's what I'm going to call him because I don't care about him. Tall Tonga kicked the door into Jacob's head and then Solo fell out of the cage. That was it. Absolutely awful, pathetic match. JC Mateo and Tall Tonga come out during this match, which no one cares about either of them. You can't put them into this faction and expect people to care. Jim Uso comes out, no one cares. This whole entire match was to get to a moonsault spot after the match. Why couldn't you do that during the match? This entire match was to lead up to that after the match. Jacob jumping off the top of the cage. That's what this was entirely about. That's what all of this was about. Awful match. This whole bloodline thing, MFT, Solo's little faction, is so incredibly boring. It's so bad. I dread it every single SmackDown because I know it's about to be the most boring part of the entire show, which is saying something. It's so boring. I am sick of seeing Bloodline versus Bloodline, Bloodline versus Bloodline, Bloodline versus Bloodline for years now. It's boring. Can we stop? Can we stop this whole entire Solo, Jacob, Jimmy, entire thing? I am begging. It is nauseating. It is nauseating how bad this entire thing is. You can't put a Tall Tonga and someone called a JC Mateo into it and expect people to care. Even if you want to bring someone else in, they've got 50 other family members you can put in. Put all of them in. No one will care. Because their booking is awful and you keep having them do the same thing over and over and over again. Solo keeps the title. Then we got AJ Styles versus Dominic Mysterio. This match was all about Eddie Guerrero, which I'm not going to complain about at all. It made it fun. I liked it because of that. We had a few spots. AJ come out in the lowrider. He was wearing the same tights, or at least very similar tights to Eddie. Because, is it 20 years ago? Is it exactly 20 years ago? It might be. The custody ladder match. So this was all about paying respect to Eddie. Big fan. The chair spot, hitting it off the ground and then throwing it. That was a good spot. The boot, which we've seen Eddie do. I like that. Dominic keeps the title, which was always going to happen because they're trying to book Dominic as the new like face of AAA. Make him a huge star there. Helps if he has the IC title. There was no reason to really put it on AJ Styles. Really, what's AJ Styles going to do with the title? If you're going to give AJ Styles another big last run before he retires, surely that's for the world title, not the IC title. AJ Styles he's the type of guy where if you're going to give him a last run, it's for the world title, not the IC title. So if that was AJ's last SummerSlam, sad, but hopefully they book his last few months or last year properly. Hopefully. Because he deserves that. After everything he's done in his career, he deserves that. This match, and again, it was a fun match. I liked it. It had a couple of good spots. Paying respect to Eddie. Big fan. The match ends with Dominic unzipping the boot. That spot, AJ rips the boot off. He's like, what? And then Dominic, splash, 1, 2, 3, wins the match. Keeps the title. Now, after this, probably the funniest part of the show, Stephanie McMahon goes out there to announce the attendance because people really care about the attendance, right? At least I didn't have Stone Cold going out there and running over fans with his... So, at least there was that. But Stephanie McMahon is out there. And she says that the attendance was 60,000. 60,000. Which is a complete lie. And we know it's a lie because earlier in the night, they said 56,000. Michael Cole, earlier in the night, said 56,000. So where have they got 4,000 from? Did 4,000 people buy tickets as the show was going on? They just showed up the Solo vs Jacob Fatu entertained them that much that they had to buy tickets there and then. They had to get into the stadium. How did you go up 4,000 during the show? The 56 is a massive exaggeration anyway, as it is. To then bump it up another 4,000 is ridiculous. Then the main event, Cena Cody. Now this was much, much, much better than their WrestleMania main event. 1,000 times better, because this was a good match. Their Mania match was a bad match. This was a good match. They actually put care and effort into this. Loud boos for Cody during this match. There was a couple of points where I thought, he's going to turn heel. He didn't. Cena didn't turn. It wasn't a ruse. He didn't turn back into a face. He's actually face. No, he didn't turn back into a heel, sorry. He is actually a face. He's staying as a face. No rock. No heel turn. Clean win. Cody wins. Again, it was a really good match. Few good spots. I really enjoyed it. Much better than the WrestleMania match. I think it was impossible to be worse. Cody wins. So, this entire title reign for John Cena, it was just to lose it back to Cody Rhodes. Clean. As a face. That's what I mean. The booking of this is so bad. Because everything is lopsided. Everything is weird. Everything is backwards. Everything is confusing. Would it not make more sense for Cody to win the title from a heel Cena? Would it not make sense for Cena to stay heel for a couple of more nights, 2 more nights, stay as a heel? Then Cody wins it as a face. Does that not make more sense? Cody wins the title, so we've got another Cody title reign. Okay. Does nothing for me. Who's he going to go into a feud with? I don't know. Hopefully this leads to a CM Punk WrestleMania main event. Maybe a heel Randy Orton. Then I could definitely get behind it. But this booking is so awful. This booking behind all of this is so awful. As I went over in the start of this video, the entire John Cena heel run was just to turn face on a random SmackDown because he got put through a table, made to sign a contract. That's enough for him to turn face after all of that. And then he loses the title to a face Cody Rhodes. Okay. Then after the match, Brock Lesnar comes out. And as I went over at the start of this video as well, why would Brock Lesnar come back for John Cena after he's just lost the title? Brock Lesnar comes back after years, right? Would it not make sense, realistically, that he would want to come back for the title? Why would he come back after years for John Cena? After he's just lost the title? Why would he do that? Why would that make sense? Spoiler, it does not make sense. But WWE do not care about what makes sense. They care about headlines. They care about coming out of the weekend with people talking about something to take you away from how bad the show was. WrestleMania Night 1. Bad show. Big moment at the end to take the headline away from how bad the rest of the show was. Night 2 WrestleMania. Awful show. Awful main event, but a headline. Travis Scott, 17 for the 17th title for Cena. A headline. SummerSlam Night 1. Awful show. Headline at the end. Seth Rollins. SummerSlam Night 2. Not awful, but bad. Headline at the end. Brock Lesnar. It's what they do. They give you a headline at the end to take away from the lack of effort they put into the rest of the show. That was SummerSlam. SummerSlam is in the history books. Disappointing SummerSlam as a whole. A few good matches, but overall, disappointing. Didn't feel like a big PLE. Second biggest PLE of the year. But let me know what you think of this video. SummerSlam Night 1 and 2. Where do we go from now?